Hello again everybody, welcome back to LilyLuLou, the Junk Journal Geek. My name's Karen. If you haven't been here before, a very warm welcome to you, and if you are a returning visitor, thank you for joining me again today. I appreciate your company. So I'm carrying on working on my design team project for Sunny Creates. I started videoing this yesterday and I got a phone call in the middle, got interrupted, never got back to it. And I thought rather than try and pick up where I left off, I'll just start again from scratch today. But I'm glad I did in a way, because Santini messaged me to let me know that I hadn't got all the pages of the kit. The tech problems continue, people. For some reason, when I downloaded the kit, my computer decided to save some of the things in one place and some of the things in a different place. So I merrily printed out what I thought was all the pages, only to find there were another 4 pages which I had missed. So I've managed to go this morning and find them and print them out. So we have another 4 pages. We have another of the ticking in that coral colour, and then we have 3 more of the polka dots in the green and the blue and the pink. So I'm going to go through now and add those into my signatures. This was what I started working on yesterday, which you won't see. This is one of the pages from one of the signatures. It's a used envelope, and I just made a start on making a journal card to go in there. So this is what I have got here. I'm jumping backwards and forwards a bit. When I first got the kit, I did a quick rough print to see what was what, and my ink was running out and I didn't realise because I just switched it on and left it printing. So I've got all these pages where the colours are not right, but I thought they'll be okay for sort of collaging and, you know, any extra bits and pieces I might need. And this was, let me get to the back, these are all the rough pages. Where's my proper ephemera? Back here, I think. Out of the ephemera pages that were with the kit, this is one of these. That was the page of 4, and I cut that out because I needed something landscape that would, you know, show nicely in the window, but the size of that didn't sit in the right place for the window. So I've just backed it onto a piece of junk mail, you know, one of those sort of cardy things that comes through the post. Where's the other half of it? It's here. You know, the things you get through your door. It's this. So I cut that to size. Some of the rough paper that I had printed out, I stuck on as a background, and I've stuck that on. That will probably need a bit of decoration, and then I've backed it with more packaging paper, and then this part is going to be decorated to go in this half, so we will have something in each half. So that was what I had started. I can't get that back in now. So that's what that is. So I still have these other ephemera pages left. So when I did the initial video and told you about the background pages, obviously there are 4 more than I previously said, and I can't remember what I previously said. I think well, I should be able to work it out. There should have been 8 background pages in total, plus the blank page. And I think I told you that there were 4. So let's go ahead and pop these in each signature. So I have a blue stripe in this signature. So I will want a different colour polka dot. Obviously I'm not putting those in the right place at the moment, I'm just trying to sort these. Now we have the coral polka dot in this one. I can see I'm going to have to be taking pages out and moving them round. So right, so in this one we have the coral, polka dot and the pink stripe. So that one's, did I go into the next signature? I did go into the next signature, didn't I? So let's take the pink stripe out of there and put it in there. So then we've got a polka dot and a stripe in there as well. So in this one we probably now don't have anything. So what have we got in the last one? And now I've got all my signatures modelled up. So right, so we want, I've got the green stripe in there, so we'll put the blue polka dot in with that, and then this one shouldn't have anything. Marvellous. So we'll put these two in that one, and I'll just fold them up. And again, I've just backed these with my own scanned tea-dyed papers, which I think, again, I have a few of those available to download for free on either my Ko-fi site or my Buy My Coffee. I must sit and work all that out, because it's not very helpful for me not to know where they are, is it? And it must be quite annoying for you as well. So in there, so we've now got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, oh, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 pages in that one, and I feel like we have probably got you know, differing numbers of pages in these now, where I've been taking things out and putting them in, and so I will probably off camera go through and just see exactly what is what, and even things out a bit if necessary. So how are you all today? I hope you're all happy and well and managing to find some crafting time for yourselves. Right, so at least we've sorted that now, and now you have seen all of the pages. So what am I going to do today? I've had more thoughts about the cover. I think what I'm going to do is, I don't know if it will work because this has got something shiny on it. Not sure if it's picking it up on camera, but this has got a coating on it which is quite shiny. But what I'm going to try to do is to sort of decoupage this pattern paper onto the inside of the cover, so that will go like that. I think that will look quite nice, and it will hopefully have that nice feel to it as well. And I've decided I am going to use that first fabric I showed you for the cover, which, where's it gone? It's thrown on the floor. So this is going to be the cover, because I decided on this because it's upholstery fabric, so it will be slightly more robust than the cotton, so I'm not sure if that's going to be quite wide enough to do that way with the stripes going up and down, but I feel like the pattern's not right for the stripes to go that way, because these are like vases of flowers. But I do have some more of this down in the garage, so I'll probably go and get that out and use this for my cover. So I think I've decided on the cover, but again, I'm not going to do anything with that, I don't think, until I have sort of got the pages together, so that I know whether I need to trim any of this. Although I don't think it's going to matter, to be fair, because we can have a bigger wraparound. My idea for this was to have a nice button here, and then to tie something around the button, you know, like sari silk or something, and it will just be attached to the button and then loose, and then you can just wrap it round and wrap it round the button like a policy envelope closure. That's my idea at the moment. So that's where we are. So what I need to do is to carry on with these envelopes, I think. I am going to sew some fabric tabs on some of these pages. So we've got some interest going down the side here. Yeah, so that's my plans so far. That's as far as I have got, I think. So, oh, and I had some other bits out of here, actually. I didn't put them back in now, and I don't know where I've put them now. I've collected together some other bits because I showed you all this on yesterday's video, and of course you haven't seen it, so I'm trying to remember what I've done now and what I haven't. Excuse me, rummaging. Oh, that's rather annoying. I don't know where they've gone. I had some little decorative bits that I'd pulled together from my ephemera stashes, and I don't know where they've gone now. So I need to cover this envelope. So I think I'm just going to use, you know, rather than waste them, I'm going to use these funny colour pages. I'm not sure how they're going to look though. Yeah, I don't think they're really going to look good, are they? These bits are okay. They will blend in okay. And I did think about using, which I'm still umming and ahhing about, the pattern paper. I thought I could cover the envelopes with that, and I think that would look quite nice, but I don't like this. But then I could just stick something on there to cover it, to decorate, so maybe I should do that. But is it going to be, I'm worried that it might not be sturdy enough when it's in the book and we're taking things in and out. I mean, I could even, that is so fine, you could probably even cover the window as well. That would look interesting, wouldn't it? Let's pop that in there and see what it looks like. So I've got my two pieces in there. What do we think of that? I'm not sure about this, although that is the pattern, so it's quite a bright blue, but I quite like that. I quite like that effect, and you can see there's something in there, but it's slightly obscured, and I feel like that adds a little bit of interest. So I may do that. I won't be able to do that on all of them because some of the other envelopes have got labels on with my address where it's been redirected from our old house. So I will need to cover the whole thing with something that is not see-through. but that might work for these. I might try one and see how it looks. I'll take these bits out so that I don't ruin them. I've always got plenty of other envelopes if it does go wrong. So I think I'm going to use glue stick, and then I may afterwards go over with some watered down PVA to give it a bit of extra protection. I haven't done this before, so I'm not sure how it's going to work. So we'll see, we'll find out together. So yes, my tech problems are continuing. They're not as bad as they were. I've managed to solve most of the problems, but yeah, that issue with the papers was one, and then something else happened this morning. I can't remember what it was. I thought, it's never ending. Right. Whichever way I do this, there's going to be bits that are upside down, so it doesn't really matter. So I'm going to try I'm just trying to be very careful so that I don't tear the page. I'm not even attempting to get it 100% straight. I don't mind a few little wrinkles, but I don't want too many. Bit of a bulge there, so I'm just trying to lift that so that I can straighten it a little bit as I lay it down. This is the advantage of glue stick with tissue paper. It does give you a little bit of wiggle room, but say I know I'm not going to be able to get this 100% wrinkle free. I don't mind a little wrinklage. We've all got a little bit of wrinklage, haven't we? Now, the other thing I need to think about is when there's nothing in that envelope, at the moment you can see that message there. So I'm thinking, do I want to cover the inside? So I need to have a little think about that. Let's see if we can tear this off. Do I want to? I'm just trying to decide if I want to fold this round at all. Oh, that'd be good. That would cover that half. So yes, I could do that. And then we'll just need a little bit of patchwork up that end. So yes, I think I will do that. So, which means I won't need well, I won't need the bottom bit, will I? Let's tear it a little bit extra just in case I change my mind. Let's have a little bit of glue either side. Oops. see. How far did that come? Oops, I haven't got my glue peg. Where did I put it? There. Right, so where's my folder around there? So that's going to be in the book like that. I'll just let that dry for a bit longer before I actually fold it. I think that looks okay. I think I will want to cover the inner side there, and then I will stick something over the bits of writing and this bit. But I quite like how that looks. So let's tear the edges off. I'm doing it the wrong way round again, aren't I? But I'm not sure. Pulling the envelope up is a good idea. Looks all right. Maybe I'll get away with it. Bit of resistance there. The reason I'm tearing it rather than trying to cut it is I think that's going to look better, personally. If I try and cut it, I will not cut it straight, and I think that looks worse if it's cut wonky than when it's torn wonky, and I don't think this paper will cut in the trimmer very well. Not that I've tried, but yeah, once I've inked that, I think that'll be all right. Now, do we want to just pop another piece here just to finish that off? So let's tear a bit of that. Lost my ruler. Everything's sticking to each other. I'm just deciding how much to overlap it. Got gappage at the bottom here, but I could you know, pop some lace or some other trim along there when we come to decorate. Can always zhuzh it up a little bit, can't we? So let's, which way round was I going to have that? That way. Pop that there. Here we go. Right. So I will need to do the rest of these envelopes, but I won't do all of them on camera because it's boring watching, you know, the same thing being done over and over again, isn't it? So that's there. Now I need to find, I'm not sure if that is sticking very well to the envelope, the window part, but it doesn't really matter, does it? So let's pop something behind there. I had some of that blue stripe left over. There it is. So that could go. Got bits of paper flying everywhere today. Let's see how much of it would that work because of that edge. Oh yes, it will. So let's tear that piece off. And we'll glue that up and slide it in, hopefully. Famous last words. This is where I get everything stuck together. I should have opened the envelope up and done this before I started doing anything else, but I forgot. So I think the amount of times I use junk mail envelopes in my journals, I would not forget something like that, wouldn't you? I think it'd be second nature by now, but no. Right. Trying to open this up as wide as I can so I can slide this in without any issues. So that's going to be like that. Now let's get that fold back in now that it's a bit drier. So when it's in the book, let's just shove this in so that you can see what it's going to look like. It's not necessarily where it's going, but so when it's in the signature, this will be the first one, and we'll have a tag or something in there, and then go through, come to the other side. This is going to be the other side of the pocket envelope, and in there we will have, I don't want to accidentally put this between the tissue and the envelope because it's not quite dry yet. I might, it does go in because I took it out there. Obviously, with everything still being wet, I think these will need to have corners rounded as well, and there you go. So that will be in there. So you can see that there's something in there, but it's, you know, it's a little bit hidden, a little bit, oh, what's going on in there? And then we'll pull this out, and there will still be a nice decorative feature behind it. So that's how it's going to work. Obviously we want to leave it to dry before we play about with it, really. And I will need, and obviously everything is going to be stitched round in this journal, you know, all the cards and tags and tabs and things, because it's a sewing journal. I want to have lots of stitchery in it. I can't remember if I've said that to you already or not. So I need some, I think probably some crochet trim, just rummaging to see. This I may use as the closure, this pink sari silk. That's what I have in mind at the moment. So we can either have a little bit of lace, that crochet trim's too wide. I don't know where, that's a bit narrower. Might have some of that. I've also got this lace. Is that, what's that one? Although that's ribbon. Right, so over here where we have this still showing, we could either have little sort of petticoat lace at the bottom there, or we could have some crochet trim. Looks a bit tatty. There's probably a wrong side and a right side to this. That could go along the bottom there, that's quite nice. Or we could have white, which would be, you know, give a bit of contrast. No, don't like the white. I probably will use white in this journal, here and there, but not here. Here and there, but not here. The pin doesn't want to go back in. Right, so we pop the white to one side, so it's going to be one of those, and then I want something to cover the address up there, that bank address, but obviously that's quite close to where it's going to be sewn in, so I don't want anything bulky, so I don't want, you know, one of my flowers or anything. Let's see. It's annoying me where I've put my little pile of stuff that I had pulled out ready to use. I think these are a bit big. And I could rip something in half. I went through, I've got a Reader's Digest, it's I can't remember what it's called, it's like How We Used to Live or something like that, and it's all black and white photos from, you know, like 1900 to, I think it's up to about 1980s. And I was convinced that in there would be a picture of a lady sewing at some point, you know, at a sewing machine. And I went all through that this morning looking for pictures, and there's nothing in there. I can't believe it. You know, you've the war effort and everything. It's got ladies mending cars and ladies working in the home. No ladies at the sewing machine, so I'm a bit disappointed about that because I was convinced there would be something in there that I could use. Oh, I think they're all too big. They're leaves. I don't think we want leaves in this journal. That's the one I just looked through. There's stickers and things in there. There might be something in there. That's faux stamps. Yeah, so I'm thinking at the moment, you know, what am I going to have in this journal other than sewing ephemera? You know, can I put flowers in? Can I put butterflies in? I mean, I know I can put in whatever I like really, but just trying to think what will actually go. Maybe that would look okay up there because it sort of blends in. It's writing as well, so if you do see, you know, if something does show through, it's not going to look totally odd. I need my pokey tool. Don't have my pokey tool to hand. And obviously doing things like this on camera is always trickier than doing them when you're just crafting along on your own. I was also looking to see if I could find some photos of my nan when she was younger, to pop in this. No, I won't put the actual photos in, but I thought I could, you know, print them off, copy them and print them off and pop these in the journal. I think that, pop those in the journal. I think that would be quite nice. But I think I'm going to have to go up in my mum's loft to find some older pictures of my nan. See, that looks like she's sort of made notes on her work. I have no idea what that says. I don't even know what language it is. Actually, I'm wondering if that's, I think that might be Latin, I'm not sure. And then I want something here. So would she have stuck a stamp in? Maybe we could have that, and then she could write notes on there about her work. But that needs scrunging up a bit. It's too white. Oops. So we could pop that along there. And then I think I will ink all these edges before I stick the lace on. Now these may well be decorated further down the line, or once they're in, or I'm just, you know, having a base, a starting point as a base. And where this hasn't come quite down to the edge of the envelope, I don't really mind that. I'm not too bothered. I think it's all going to look fine once it's all in, as long as this tissue stays stuck down. That's my only issue with the tissue. Sorry. You know, the glue stick might not have been enough. And I'm not sure how this will look if I pop, you know, diluted PVA over the top of this. I'm not sure how it will look over the window part, so we'll have to just see how we go. That doesn't look particularly, mind you, I think it doesn't look straight because the pattern drawing isn't straight. I think that is actually straight. So right, so that's okay as a starting point. So I don't really need the lace on there now that I've inked it, so maybe I'll leave that. I may stitch that on with the machine, because if it's at the bottom, we're not going to lose too much of the space in the pockets, and it will add a nice, you know, extra touch if it's got a bit of stitching on. So yeah, I may well stitch that on there, and then what I will probably do is whichever of this I use at the bottom here, I'll put the same at the top here, so that when it's in the pocket, you know, it's peeking out and it's obvious that there's something in there. I'm going to round the corners of this because I think it will make things easier when we are going in and out. I do find it makes it trickier to stitch round when I've rounded the corners, but practice makes perfect, so we'll keep doing it. Yeah, so if I have whatever I have at the bottom here, that will be on this side, it will be peeking out the bottom here, and then if this is the same at the top here, I won't pop it back in the pocket, but so that you can, you know, if it's sort of like that when it's in the pocket, it's like a little crown at the top. So there'll be lace at the top and lace at the bottom. Oops, gone off camera. So I think that will look quite nice. So I'll do that on the machine. So those two need to go to the machine now to be finished off. How long have we gone? Oh, we've been on here nearly 3/4 of an hour. Maybe I should leave it there now. So that's where we're up to. Don't really feel like I've made a lot of progress, but I do feel like I've made a lot of decisions, and that's sometimes half the battle. So I'll be back again in another couple of days. It'll probably be time for another Memoranda episode next. That'll be fun. You see how I've been struggling with those. And then I'll come back a couple of days after that and I'll show you what I've been doing with the sewing journal. So thank you for joining me today. I hope you found that interesting, entertaining, whatever. And yeah, I'll see you again in a couple of days. So thanks for joining me today. Stay safe, take care, and enjoy your own crafty time. Bye-bye.